This is a place to yap, where big feelings meet even bigger opinions. I'm your girl Taj, and this podcast is where your truth has power, your feelings have room, and your growth has space to breathe. Our stories deserve to be told. We are no longer asking for permission to heal or to speak our truth out loud. Here, you are safe, valued, needed, and most importantly, you are heard. Welcome to A Place to Yap. Today, I want to really talk about something that I've been carrying for a while, which is the mask that I wear. I wanted to do this episode because so many of us are living behind masks every single day, and it's costing us more than we realize. It's costing us our peace, our health, our relationships, and even our money. I just learned that holding back my truth, my words, my feelings has me clenching my jaw in my sleep, which means I'm in constant pain. And when I went to the dentist, I found out I have to get a $500 mouth guard. That's the price of my silence, the price of my performance. This episode matters because pretending comes at a cost, and it's time we start talking about it. If you've ever felt like you had to keep the peace at your own expense, this one is for you. Every day I feel like I have to perform just to make it through the day, whether it's putting a smile on when I'm feeling tired, holding my tongue when somebody's being rude, or keeping my peace around people who make everybody else uncomfortable. It feels like I always have to put out this version of myself that isn't always true, and honestly, it's exhausting. This week's affirmation is, I give myself permission to be real. I don't have to perform for love, for peace, or for acceptance. Who I am without the mask is already enough. So I feel like I definitely should name my mask. I don't know what her name is, but the mask is a op. That's all I do know for sure. I feel like everybody's mask is going to look different. For me, I'll smile or I'll laugh when I really want to call somebody out and be like, why are you acting like that? What are you talking about? Tell them off. That mask is a silence that I know I have, because if I speak up or if I say how I really feel, it's going to make a wave. It's going to make a big thing. I'm in the process of learning how to actually say what I want to say and have it be received where it's fallen on deaf ears because of the delivery of what I say. I find that my mask is when I'm overextending myself so that nobody feels tension or everybody feels at peace or everybody feels like they're on the same page, even when I'm inside crumbling. I'm inside exhausted. I'm inside trying to figure out what to do next. I think I do this because I don't like to deal with conflict. I don't like to deal with confrontation. I don't want to be the reason why there's negativity in a situation. So I find myself performing. Unfortunately, me performing is not creating peace. It's just creating an illusion of peace, because the peace is created around me, but inside I have a storm brewing. Inside I'm screaming. Inside I'm frustrated because I'm trying to make everybody else happy or everyone else at peace, but I'm struggling. I'm stressed. I am bottling it all up, and I'm like a volcano. I'm gonna explode. I'm like a soda bottle. You know, when you shake it up and you finally open that bottle or open that can, and then it just sprays out everywhere because I'm holding in my emotions inside. I'm overwhelmed. I'm frustrated. I don't know how to deal with my emotions. I don't know how to articulate how I'm feeling, because at the end of the day, you know, you are sometimes dealing with emotionally immature, emotionally unavailable people, and you're trying to figure out, what can I do to make this situation easier for me in this moment? Because right now, there's nothing else I can do. You find yourself just hiding behind, find yourself constantly performing just so that you can get through it, and it's frustrating. The thing is, it's not actually helping you. What I'm learning is it's not helping me. It's just making me more frustrated, more tired, more irritated. I have to blame myself because I'm choosing my battles, but I don't think I'm choosing them wisely. I feel like I'm being selective on, like, okay, what do I want to give my energy to? And that's good for the most part, but then there's a lot of battles that it's like, okay, but you probably could have put a little bit more effort into that so that you're not holding all this anger, tension, and rage in based off of other people and trying to constantly keep the peace. Carrying that mask can be heavy. Carrying that mask drains me every single day. I'm running a marathon every single day and nobody can see how tired I am because the mask is, I'm smiling, I'm laughing, I'm holding everything together, I'm doing it with grace and ease, and performing can be very exhausting. I know a lot of people can relate because you could perform on your job, you can perform in front of your family, you can perform in a relationship, you can perform in a lot of different dynamics. You're constantly performing. That's why I require a lot of isolation, because I have to try to work out my thought, work out my feeling in my own solitude, whether it's writing it in my journal, whether it's talking on this podcast, it's talking to my husband or talking to my kids, or just going for a walk, listening to music, sometimes even talking to the people that I trust and just letting it all out. It's good, but at the same time, it's not really taking on the issue head on. It's avoiding. It's me avoiding the conflict. It's me avoiding the battle I don't want to deal because I feel like, oh, well, you're not going to hear me, or you're not going to listen or pay attention to what I'm actually saying. I've had it happen over and over and over again, and it just gets exhausting. It's worse when you're around people who are unhappy with themselves or with their life. You know the type of person that they are. As soon as they walk in the room, you instantly feel the shift in the energy. You're instantly like, ah. Here they go. It gives you like an instant feeling of anxiety. At least for myself, it gives me an instant feeling of anxiety. You know, I have to tolerate this person. I have to be around this person. And you feel uncomfortable. You feel on edge. You start to feel tense. The mask goes up. Here I go. Keeping the peace. Pretending to be unbothered. Pretending to just grin and bear it, because I'm just trying to survive the interaction. Me pretending doesn't mean I'm okay. I am doing that because I don't want to be drained by the end of the day. I'm one of those people, I pay attention to people's patterns. If I feel like you're doing something over and over again, my logic is going to tell me this is a part of who you are. This is a pattern of who you are. This is who you have shown me to be. As much as I will try to go against myself and against what I think, you've shown and proved to me so many times that this is the type of person that you are. So why am I trying to trick myself to make me think that you're something other than what you're showing me? No, this is you. Yes, people change, but that's because that's if people want to change. Most of the time, just like the mask will fall off of me when I'm hiding my emotions, their mask of trying to pretend they like you or trying to pretend they care and they love you will also come off. You will no longer be able to hide or deny who that person is. You can't make excuses for it anymore. Me going to the dentist really opened up my eyes that there is a cause of me holding my tongue. It's not just emotional, it's financial and physical. You are grinding your teeth, suggested that I get a calcium mouth guard, and the price of it, I was like, wow, $500. That's what the cost of me holding my tongue is. $100. And constant throbbing pain on the whole right side of my face because I'm holding back things that I want to say. I'm holding back how I fully feel. I'm saying some of what I feel, but I'm allowing people to make me feel bad for speaking how I fully feel because they don't want to handle it or because they don't want to be held accountable. So they're limiting me to what I can say or making me feel bad when I say what I want to say unfiltered. Oh, you know, it's hurting people's feelings or it's making people feel uncomfortable. You're trying to hold back the words, all that tension, all that silence, literally swallowing my truth, and it's locking into my body. That's the real price of the mask that I'm wearing. That's just me calling myself out. That's me taking accountability. At the end of the day, it's not hurting anybody else but me by not speaking my truth, not saying how I feel. Even if it's not coming out exactly the way that I want to, it's not coming out curated. Even the doctor was saying, I understand that we have to choose our battles, but is this worth the cost? I had to really sit there and think about it. I don't think that it's worth it. I don't think the constant tension in my body is worth it. The pain in my body is worth it. Me not speaking my truth is worth it. Me always holding the peace is not worth it. Me constantly having to feel like I have to perform and wear this mask is not worth it. It's a defense mechanism. It's a part of the survival mode. It's very hard to deprogram myself from that type of lifestyle that I had to live growing up my majority of my life, and even being in a very long relationship in high school that also caused me to have to perform out of sheer survival. Even though I cared for that person, I loved that person was very mentally abusive, took advantage of me being very naive, me being in a situation where I felt like I was desperate and I had nowhere to go, me being in a situation where I was very young and vulnerable. You're just trying to make excuses for that person person when a lot of those things are happening in our reality. No, those people don't like you. Those people really don't want to be around you. Those people really don't care about you. The people that do are going to let you know. You feel that shift of the people that don't care for you, that don't want to be around you. You feel it. It's very strong. Just like a feeling of happiness, it's that feeling of tension. It's that feeling of unease. It's that feeling of, here this person goes. Let me just, they're miserable. They're not happy with themselves. You got to listen to how people talk about themselves and how they speak over their life. Those are the people that you don't necessarily want to be around, but unfortunately, some of us do have to be around those people. I'm finding myself constantly performing, constantly trying to keep the peace. It's hard. It's easy to hide from yourself. It's easy to hide from your feelings until you start going to the doctors and you start realizing you have all this stored up tension, all this stored up pain, all this stored up energy. You can put a value to it. You can put a name to it. Your doctor can tell you that this is what's going on. It's easy to deny it for a while when you're just going through everyday life, everyday distractions, until you're faced with the truth. And that's what happened to me. I understand you got to pick your battles, but you may need to pick them a little bit more frequently, a little bit more often, because it's costing you. The truth is, when you live behind the mask for a long time, you start to lose track of who you really are. At the core of it all, people don't know the real you. They only know the performance of you. And eventually the curtains are going to close. That's not the type of person that you want to be. You don't want to be the court jester. You don't want to be feeling like you're the puppet and you're constantly putting on a show. There's nothing wrong with adding a little razzle dazzle, but is that who you truly are at your core? You have to really think about that. Who am I at my core self? The sad part is it is going to affect your relationships, going to affect your family, it's going to affect your friendships, because it's built around that version of you're the strong one. You're always going to agree. You're always going to keep it together. You're fine. You're not going to deal with any conflict. People are going to come to you for everything because they're going to feel like, oh, you're going to always see my side. But inside of you, inside of me, we're screaming for the rest. We're screaming for permission to just be without performing, without the mask. If peacekeeping comes at the cost of your own peace, it's not worth the price tag. If I'm being honest, it left me more resentful than times I would like to admit. I was very angry, and it's easy to say that it's everyone else's fault. I'm mad that you made me feel like I had to speak up for myself, or I had to say something I didn't necessarily want to say. What are you actually teaching yourself? Or even if you have children, or even the people around you, you're teaching people that you're going to be a pushover. You're teaching people you're easy to use as a punching bag because you're not going to stand up for yourself. You're going to try to speak up, or you're going to try to yell, but you're not going to do better than I'm going to do towards you. I've had that situation happen where I felt like I was speaking loud, I was yelling. Then, you're told, oh, you were trying hard, good try, but come harder next time. Well, you could have said it like this, or you need to grow up. People don't understand. Just because I'm passionate when I'm talking doesn't mean that I'm necessarily immature. Maybe I can get better at it, but me feeling like I have to constantly over curate my response to make you digest it, that's not going to happen all the time, every single time. If I do that, that's me performing. That's me trying to feel like I have to get you to understand what I'm saying, but I have to say it in a nice and sweet way, because if I say it how I want to say it, then I'm intimidating, or I'm mean, or I'm immature, or I don't know how to talk to people, or I'm hurting people's feelings. Why do I have to say it right then and there? In my emotions? Why can't I sit back and think about it and then respond? If I know that all you want to do is ultimately argue and debate, I'm not going to waste my time. Now, I'll probably go back and think about it, wait, and then I'll come back and talk about it. I think that's a part of me performing too. Sometimes you gotta just battle. You gotta debate. Maybe that's just the test to build up your resistance to that. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not sure though. Lately, I've just been asking myself, how do I take this mask off? Obviously, I can't do it all at once. I know sometimes survival does require a little performance, but slowly in safe spaces with safe people. Like I said, with jobs, with coworkers, bosses, family members, volunteer work. Like there's so many different, unfortunately, places that do require you to perform. Sometimes as a parent, you got to keep it together. And that also requires, for me specifically, performance, even in a marriage. Sometimes that requires performance. You and your spouse could be just in spaces in your lives when you're trying to accomplish things, but you don't want to take it out on that person. They don't want to take it out on you. That sometimes can require performance. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to hold it all. And it's tough. you can slowly start to take that mask down. Sometimes you might pull it up a little, but in safe spaces with safe people, you can slowly start to let the mask down. This week's Yap Back prompt is, what mask do you find yourself wearing? Is it the strong one, the always smiling, the fixer, the silent one? I love to know how you're navigating it. If you recognize it, how you're trying to unlearn wearing the mask. DM me, tag me, send me a voice note or an email so we can discuss. Now let's get back into the yap. In order for me to take the mask off, I have to start with learning how to set my boundaries, letting myself say, I don't feel like doing this today, I'm tired, or I don't want to be in this space because this makes me uncomfortable. It's not easy, but it's very necessary. I don't want to overplay my part in people's lives. And I don't want people to always feel like, what's wrong with you? You're acting different today because I'm not quote unquote performing. I'm not always coming in on sunshine and rainbows. I'm not always acting like I have my life together, making myself feel uncomfortable just to make them feel comfortable. I'm being selective about choosing the environments where I don't feel like I have to perform to belong. When I walk into the room, I'm genuinely greeted. People are happy that I'm there. They love on me. I love on them. We can talk. I'm not judging them. They're not judging me. And the energy is good. Just feel like a weight is lifted off your shoulders. You feel like you can put your shoulders down. You don't have them up to your ears because you're tense and you're frustrated and you're irritated and you're just trying to play along to get through the time that you're around that person. No, more spaces that welcome me in with the light I carry, with the energy I carry, where I'm not having to overdo it to make people feel good about themselves. It's just me. The truth is, I don't owe everybody comfort. I owe that to myself. I owe myself peace. I owe myself the time to be able to be real to myself. I'm not giving everybody else comfort at the expense of my own sanity. That price is too high. I am no longer willing to pay that price. You're wondering why your nerves are bad, you're overwhelmed, or you feel like you're going crazy. You're giving too much of yourself away to perform at the expense of your peace. I don't want to do that anymore. I have been working hard to take the mask off. When you are presented with, you can't hide. I seen something where it was talking about silence is connected to why a lot of women are developing autoimmune diseases. That is the cost of not speaking up for yourself. I don't want to develop anything like that just because I'm trying to keep the peace with everybody. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I don't want to shake the table. I don't want to make the noise. I don't want to be loud. That is not helping me. Then I have children. What is that telling them? What is that showing my children? Silencing myself and trying to keep the peace, it can cause more harm than good. It has so many negative effects on your mental and physical health. And I just told you guys, me going to the dentist and them telling me it's because I'm clenching my jaw. And it's not even something that I'm doing consciously. It's easy for me to perform during the day and hide it. It's something that I'm doing subconsciously in my sleep. I am over here fighting in my sleep, and that is causing me immense pain. That is causing me much stress. That is causing me tension in my body. Everything that you are holding in, every reaction, every truth, every stress, your body is attacking itself because you're not taught to release it. It's more than just emotional exhaustion. It's a physical breakdown. It can cause you to have an autoimmune disease. Like, that's so crazy. That's how dangerous silence could be. So as much as you want to keep the peace, as much as I want to keep the peace, it's not worth the pain, the tension, the frustration. Nipsey Hussle said there was a quote that he heard. Would you rather be at war with yourself and have peace with the world? Or would you rather have peace with yourself and at war with the world? I'd rather have peace with myself. That's what I'm currently working on, is having peace with myself. Silence isn't peacekeeping if it's costing you your health, your relationships, or your sense of self. The mask might help you get through the day, but it should never come at the cost of who you are. Remember, my voice matters, my truth matters. Every time I take off the mask, I reclaim my peace and I return to myself. So I'll just leave you with this question. What is the real cause of the mask that you're wearing? Are you ready to start loosening it, even if it's just a little bit, so you can breathe again? Protect your peace, honor your truth, and know you are enough exactly as you are. Thank you for spending time with me today. Remember, only those who benefit from your silence don't want you to tell your story. Take what's for you and leave the rest. You don't have to hold it all. Always show up for yourself. Life may try to push you down, but you will rise because you are powerful beyond measure. You matter. Your voice matters. Until next time, keep feeling, yapping, growing, and most importantly, keep going. This has been your safe space, a place to yap.